Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc., the channel all about bringing you as much nerdy content as possible. Today for you, we're back in Dragon Village M, and I was going to do something a little different. It's the dice event. We get this every couple months. I just saved up all my dice, so I figured I'd show y'all, what I could get. I don't have any extra dice rolls off of the gold here, because you can't spin these if you have regular dice. So just to show you, I'm clicking, nothing's happening. So I didn't get anything extra spun yet. I've literally not started. So see how much you can get just grinding every single day. Hopefully it pays off. The event ends in 5 hours, so I can't get any more. So this is it. Hopefully we get something good. But while I'm doing this, I also just kind of want to talk about the state of the game. It's October 2019 right now, so kind of where I'm at. I've been playing this game for well over a year now, almost a year and a half. So kind of where I'm at in it, I think the game is at right now as like a player that's been playing for a long time, as well as coming in for new players. We're just kind of discuss it all. All right, let's get into this. Alright, so let's just start rocking and rolling here. So kind of where I've been lately in the game. Recently, some of you may have noticed, but I did switch clans, or guilds, whatever you want to call them. I switched over to Drakion, which is a number 3, number 4 guild kind of position, depending on the whatever, I don't know, group content you're doing. Dungeon, PvP, Ancient Tower. That's usually where we score at, is usually 3rd and 4th place every single week. So I did that because in my old clan I was getting to the point where it was me and my clan leader, and we were light years ahead of everyone else in the clan in most content. Sure, there was like one person that would do better than us in PvP, but when it came to Clan Dungeon and my game crashed, that's cool. Alright, let's try that again. I got a feeling it's going to crash again, but we'll go on. So like I was saying, so yeah, he would do really well in PvP, but then when it came to Clan Dungeon, he would just do very lackluster. He would do better than most of the clanmates, but overall it was, we were, top 12 clan, and it was 2 people, basically, soloing most of it. So, our 2 scores together were like 80% of the clan almost. I might be exaggerating a little bit, but I really don't think I am. It has been a couple months. But yeah, so moved on to another clan because I just wanted to get better rewards. I wanted to get better rewards for you guys because I get so many more clan coins now. I probably get at least double the clan coins, if not even a little over double than what I was getting before. So that right there is awesome. I can't complain about that. The login reward just for coming in every day is super nice. You get so many diamonds and gold, and it's just better. Just better for me. Keeps me more enticed to play because I feel like I'm accomplishing things. So speaking of accomplishing, I recently did a new Clan Dungeon guide video for you guys. And in it, I showed the progression. If you watch my original one and then you watch the new 2.0 Mega Guide, I show just how far I've come. I went from, scoring underneath 10 million, thinking that was a good run, to 70 million on almost all of my different elements. It just that water one's kicking my butt, but I think the water one kicks everyone's butt, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, so 70 million a run. I wouldn't say it's the best, but that's pretty substantial compared to most players in the game. So I feel pretty good about where I'm at in Clan Dungeon. There's always room for improvement, enhancements and masteries on all those DPS dragons, particularly my 5 stars on bottom lane. All my AoE attackers don't have any enhancements or any masteries, so once those start rolling in, my damage will, hopefully break 100 million soon, which will be phenomenal. So that's really one of my main focuses right now, is just I think the teams are good as they are. I like my teams the way I have them built. The only thing I would improve is literally just getting a dark Mummigon to put on the dark team and calling it a day. Besides that, it's just simply powering them all up. You know, the daily grind that we all go through as players. You know, just farming levels, getting masteries, getting enhancement points. You know, all that stuff. That's as far as my clan dungeon is concerned, at least. Tower of Tests. I haven't really looked at it in probably a little over a month, but I forgot what dragon came out, but I had to do a whole bunch of grinding, and I actually put all of my all my Tower of Test levels. They're all in the 90s now. So now it's just a matter of getting the right stuff powered up the rest of the way like it's supposed to be, so that way I can finally push through and complete those, or at least break 100. I just really want to break 100 on all of them if possible, but just getting one to break 100 would feel good, and then I could push the rest. But one of the things I'm having the most debate on, though, and this is something I still don't really know what I want to do, because there's so many different options I can do, is PvP. Colosseum is an ever-changing beast in this game. But why is it ever-changing? Because it's player-driven. It's not some AI or some, you know, just fixed set amount of damage that you got to do, or be able to overcome, like in Clan Dungeon. You know, I'm playing level 41 of Clan Dungeon. Every single of that element, it'll never change. It'll always be the same, static amount. So I gotta just overcome that statistic and then beat it. Colosseum, though, I mean, those everyone in top 100, they change their teams to go one way or another, and you gotta change with them and you know, move back and forth. Someone finds a new thing that really breaks the meta, and they climb to the top, top 10 using this crazy new method, like the evasion team, and you gotta like move with them, because then other people tag along and they start doing the same thing, all these evasion teams. So then you gotta worry about accuracy all of a sudden now that you never had to worry about before. And that's what I mean by you just gotta adapt. And so it's ever changing, so you can't just keep using the same team and expect it to work forever. If you're starting out, you know, I recommended using the Water Wonder Dragon team. That's like the main focus, with like a Witch Dragon. I mean, that works in like every type of content there is. It works for a long time. You can use that strategy for a long time, but you can't use it forever. Eventually you're going to play long enough that you're just going to get way better, way cooler dragons. You're going to build some crazy teams, you know, once you just learn the game well enough. So you just got to change with the times, and then eventually you'll get there. So that's kind of where I'm at now. Is I've been doing ever since Water Trophius came out, I've been doing the team for handling him, which was I was doing AoE attackers, right? 2 AoE attackers. I was using 3 mana cost dragons, so they were doing some crazy damage, right? I eventually unlocked Dark Arcana. If you saw that video where I was super excited for that, that was pretty awesome. But I'm at that point where it's like, I still didn't have him mastered all the way. I'm like 20 enhancement points off. I think as soon as, I don't know, I just got to get something and finish him off. Just purchase a few more here soon, and he'll be enhancement 6. But I'm at that point where I'm kind of thinking about changing my team again. I recently got Ilon as a new support type. I was using, who was it? Not Frosty. It was the other one, Loris. I was using Loris because it was great for 3 mana cost attackers, right? Reduced the cooldown on their skills, as well as, you know, gave me double mana regen when you use their skills. But the problem I was having was it doesn't work like the Cupids do, where every time you use a 2 mana cost skill, you know, they recharge. This doesn't, or, you know, it doesn't just keep the double mana regen going. This has a cooldown, so you gotta wait to use another 3 mana cost attack to keep the mana regen going. So you gotta debate, do I just back to back hit them with 2 3 mana cost attacks and hit them before they can you know, heal back or something like that, or do I wait, I pause, wait for the double mana regen to come off, and then hit them a second time with another attack, and then just keep staggering my attacks. It was just, I don't know, it was too much debate. I mean, if I've got if I got 6 mana, I'm ready to blow that and, take them down, hopefully. But if you don't take them down, then you're going to be in a rut really bad with those teams, where if that didn't finish them off or take out a key piece, then you're probably going to lose. So it's kind of a glass cannon build when you do both attacks like that. So I'm debating switching it up. I noticed in a lot of the top PvP teams are using like single DPS dragons. Not single target DPS, mind you, but some of them are. Some of them are still using the old water iris trick. But like one of them, major thing is the water jet dragon, who is he's really good, and that's their only DPS. The rest, it's like usually like a water Trophius or a fire Angarus, however you say it. Never gonna learn that one. They'll be using one of those 2 tanks, and then their healers. Usually their healer has a revive, because that's super important. You don't want to just lose that. Some of them are using double healers, or some of them are using double supports. So it's kind of, I guess it depends on what your healers are to determine if you're going to use double healers or what. But yeah, that's neither really here nor there. It's kind of personal preference, I'd say. Personal preference and just depends on what you have. But I'm kind of thinking of doing something similar. I'm thinking about dropping one of my DPSs. I don't know which one. I'm leaning towards dropping Dark Arcana temporarily, just because he's not Mastery 6. If he was Mastery 6, or Mastery 10, sorry, then I would have a lot harder time choosing, because my Fire Varus is, he's ready to go at 610. So that's still just kind of up in the air right now on which one I'm going to switch to. But I'm also kind of waiting for, I don't know, another team I'm kicking around is just dropping both of those completely. This is still a ways off because I don't have these next dragons powered up. But I do have a water jet dragon myself, as well as a fire Bagma. So I can team those guys up, and with my water Trophius, and we're off to the races at that point. I could do like a light lady who's like a crazy good healer, and combine her with like a light Venizi, because I don't have the better options. I don't have a Manus or a Dark Totem. I don't have any of those guys, so I got to kind of make do with what I have. But light Venizi, she gives the attack buff and has the revive and stuff. So very similar, like a watered down Dark Arcana, I would say. Or not Dark Arcana, a watered down Dark Totem. So that's kind of the build I'm thinking about doing. But again, most of those dragons, like my water jet, is still a 5-star. No enhancements on it, no masteries. So the team I have now is clearly the better option. I'm at like 106 power on it or something like that. So it's going to be a while before I switch it up. But that's a team I'm thinking about building into. Just debating, but I might be better off using those points for Clan Dungeon. Just like I was saying earlier, powering those teams up. All those AoE attackers on bottom lane, all those 5-stars that aren't getting any love. I might be better off just, spending the points on them instead of worrying about building some new crazy PvP team that's already being used that might not stay in favor forever. By the time I get there, it might fall out of favor and something else new is going to come along. Or I'm going to pull a better team or a better dragon and want to build a new team. That's kind of the same thing that happened to me with Loris, First I had Frosty, and then Loris came out, and Loris was like perfect for what I was doing, so I dropped building Frosty, and then started building Loris, and then once I started getting up there with Loris, Ilon came out, and now I'm using Ilon instead. So thankfully that's just changing out one support type, and then my DPS tanks, those are staying the same. I did change out my healer. I just gave up using the Smart Dragon. I figured I would just bite the bullet And if I come across a water wonder, I now can actually kind of heal through it pretty well, but I don't always. But I'd rather just have a healer that's good for 9 times out of 10 than use a healer that's not nearly as good but can counter that 1 time out of 10 that I go against a water wonder dragon. You know what I mean? I didn't think I was recording there for a second. That would have been bad. But yeah, so moving on from there. So that's kind of where I'm at in the game, personally, where I'm just kind of working through. But that kind of brings me into the next point. That's all I've got to work towards. You know, once you've been playing this game for over a year, you're kind of at a pretty good, comfortable spot, more than likely. Hopefully you are. If you're watching these videos and you're still struggling, then I've got some great guides that you need to go check out. Particularly like the Clan Dungeon 2.0 guide. You need to go watch that one for sure if you're struggling in Clan Dungeon. Definitely work on those dragons, I tell you to, because if you're not getting 50 million on most of your runs, or at least getting there quickly, then you could probably go watch that video and learn a couple of tricks. So just saying. But yeah, so I've got nothing else to work towards. You know, I still want to make as many guides as I can for you guys, but I need incentive to play the game, right? I don't make any money off of YouTube for this. I just kind of do most of this out of the kindness of my heart, so to speak. I do have a Patreon where, you know, you can come and support me there, but, you know, Patreon supporters, they come and go. They don't always stick around. So some months I make a little bit of, you know, I can put gas in my car. Some months I can't, using the money from doing this. So to counterbalance the fact that I don't really make money off of this, I need a reason to play the game. And if I don't have a reason to play the game, I don't have a reason to make videos anymore. You know what I mean? So I need the game to evolve. Just like PvP has been evolving, you know, like I was saying, the game needs to evolve. It's cool adding new dragons, sure. Adding new dragons can kind of make PvP evolve. It forces PvP to evolve sometimes, depending on the dragon, like Tropheus. Tropheus changed the meta completely. The meta had been stale for, 10 months or so, just double irises and that was it. And didn't really matter what else you used. You could have cool healers or whatever. It didn't matter. Water Tropheus came along, changed the way the game was played in PvP. I don't know if we're going to have anything like that could really affect other content, but I think we need new content. I've said it before, but I think a feature that I think would be super cool would be for like a raid battle system. So sure, we have the Clan Dungeon, which is kind of like a raid. You know, you use the 2 teams to fight, and then your whole clan has to work together to beat the boss, right? What about a live dungeon? I think something like that could be super cool. So, like, build 1 team, and then you, and then, like, 1 other person or 2 other people go in and fight a battle together. So, kind of like a Clan Dungeon or like an Ancient Ruins, right? So you have multiple lanes going at once. They could have the same, you know, same thing you're fighting. Probably make it a little easier. Because you don't want to get randomly thrown in, like, okay, I'm really good at top lane. Like, well, I'm really good at top lane. Well, so am I. You know, you don't want people argue. You know, it's hard to build a team like that. Kind of like in MMOs, well, it's like, well, no one wants to play the healer, right? You have 100 people playing DPS, and then 10 people tanking, and 5 people healing. So those guys playing DPS are always waiting in queues to find a dungeon because, you know, there's 100 other people looking, but those 5 people playing healers, they get in every single time. You just don't really want anything like that. I don't think, not for a mobile game. I mean, I got 10 minutes to sit down and play my mobile game. Okay, I want to jump in a dungeon right quick. I don't need to wait in a 30-minute queue to get into my dungeon. You know what I mean? At least on a computer, you're kind of prepared for something like that. You know, you're going in thinking that I'm probably going to have to wait. So I think having all the lanes will be even and just fighting like a cool raid boss. Even if it made your team auto, I'm cool with that. If it wants to let me do it, live and control it myself, that's cool too. Either way, I'm good with it. I think it'd just be super cool, but make it challenging. There's a game, Summoner's War. They have something like that, where you build a team and then it goes in and fights with two other people's teams against a super hard boss. And unless you build a team that really, really combats it, then you're going to lose. You can't just throw in, two DPS, a healer, a support, and a tank and expect to win. It's got to be, okay, this certain boss does this certain thing. I need to be able to counter it. Like, every 30 seconds, he puts a super debuff on me. I need to make sure I have a dragon that has cleanse. I need to be able to pull these debuffs off of my dragons. Super important things like that. Like a heal debuff that could be super, super crucial to get rid of, or else you wipe, sort of thing, And I just think something like that would be super interesting to implement into this game. That would kind of force veteran players to really think about it. Think about what they're doing and give them something new that they don't already have the dragons built for. So it gives them a whole new thing to prepare for and to think about and then try to overcome as a community. Don't just make it super easy right off the bat and gradually get harder like Clan Dungeon. I think it should just be hard from the get-go. Kind of like I'm saying in MMOs, you go into a raid for the first time, like soon as an expansion drops, and nobody knows how to beat it. No one has a clue how to beat it. You gotta sit there and work together to figure out, okay, so we, today we made it to 50%, and we found out that at 50% the boss transforms, and he goes from like a single enemy to like 8 enemies or 7 enemies, and we need to be able to also have AoE dragons that we weren't expecting to need before because we never made it that far. And then at 25% he does something else that, oh no, he puts all these debuffs on us. Crap, we never put a cleanse dragon in. Okay, well now we know that we also need a cleanse dragon. And just learning the game, learning a dungeon. It just sounds very interesting to me. It helps entice people. That might be too much for a mobile game though. I could be just completely overstating my bounds. But I mean, Summoner's War did it. So I think that there's no reason that Dragon Village can't as well. Clearly mobile games can do it and people enjoy it. But that's kind of where I'm at for me as a veteran player. But where is the game? And that's kind of where I think the game is at for other veteran players as well. We're all working towards PvP, trying to be the best at PvP, or trying to stay the best in PvP. Trying to, get as high a scores as possible in Clan Dungeon. After a while, though, you just kind of get to that point where it's like, well, I'm not doing anything special. I'm just powering up my dragons. So that's where we're at as veteran players, I think, across the board. If you disagree, let me know. If I'm leaving something out, definitely say so in the comments, because maybe I'm missing something, and there's something that you're doing that I should be doing too. But I think the game for new players, that's really what the developers have been focused on. I think just last week we had a patch come out. It might have been last week or week before last. We had a patch come out that kind of updated the game and made it more friendly for new players. In my original player's guide, the very, very first one I made, one of the first things I talk about was when you're doing the quest line for the witch, you have to jump back and forth a whole bunch between her and the adventure, and after every single stage you had to go to her and claim your reward, and then go back and beat the next level, and then you beat that level, then you got to go back and claim your reward, because if you continued on with the story and you never went back to her, you'd collect your reward, and then she'd tell you to go back and now beat the next mission. Well, it's like, I already beat that next mission. I beat the next 5 missions. Well, originally that's not how it worked. Now at least they updated it where you can beat 5 missions in a row and go and collect every single reward, for the next 5 missions. Thank God, because that was such a bad design flaw, I think. But yeah, so it's so much more friendly to players now because of that. So yeah, and the game's just really good at guiding new players, I think. I made an account recently just for fun that I played just for like 30 minutes or so, and I felt like the game did a good job of kind of describing how to go about playing and learning the game. It makes my new players guides a little less necessary to an extent. The game gives you the basics, but barely gives you the basics. Enough to play the game and have fun. And I think there's enough content in the beginning that the game is completely playable. For new players, at least. So, hopefully it continues that trend. And we see some good progress there. But hopefully they'll, since new players are in a good position, hopefully they're going to focus on veteran players a little bit more. More than just giving us a new dragon. I think we need new content as a whole. Also, they keep making the game easier. Ancient Ruins used to be so much harder, so much more of a grind. So first, earlier this year, they updated it and just made it plain easier. I went from like 4-minute dungeon runs to like 50-second dungeon runs, literally just overnight. I didn't change my team or anything. Just the update came out, and he just became easier. So I thought that was kind of lame. And this is Ancient Ruins 10, mind you. I went from a 4-minute run to under a 1-minute run, and most veteran players can knock that out in like 30 seconds at least. Probably no problem. I'm just not too worried about it. I think 50 seconds is fine. I really couldn't care less about being any faster than that. But then they had another update just recently that it increased the drop rates. Can you stir that? It increased the drop rates of all the books. So instead of 1 in every 2 runs, you would get, like 1 or 2 books. Now it's like every run you get a book, and it's a matter of, do you get 2 books or 3 books? And I'm like, whoa, that's kind of defeats the whole purpose of being a master. I mean, at least in my eyes, you want the people with masteries to be the people that are dedicated to the game. I don't want Joe Schmo coming in here and being on par with me after I put a year of investment into these characters and these dragons, and then they've been playing for a month, and then all of a sudden they're on par with me because it's just so easy now. I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't feel too fair for the amount of time and investment that a lot of players have put in. Just a personal opinion, though. I just think we need something more as veteran players to kind of help entice us. Oh, and as I was talking about earlier about needing some enhancement points, I think we're going to get them. My Dark Arcana here is about to hit Mastery 6, or Enhancement 6. We should definitely be able... We still have 84 dice. How many times around are we? I can never remember where this stupid thing is. 36. So yeah, we need 4 more laps with 80 dice. Even if we rolled 1 on all those, I think we're still going to make it. So, I think, yeah, last month, or maybe it wasn't last month, maybe the month before last, that we had the last DICE event, I was going to come on here and do another, sit down and talk with you guys like I am now. But I ended up having to work that night, and then I got off work at literally 11:45, and I logged into the game just not thinking, and I saw that the DICE event had 15 minutes, and I just sit there and spammed this roll dice button, right? I don't know. Can I see how far I've been so far? Oh, yeah. So this recording is already at 26 minutes. So you can guess that I didn't get to use up all my dice. I was so close to the very last one to getting 40 laps around, and I had 2 laps to go, I want to say, and I ran out of time. And I had plenty of dice to do it. I had 40-something dice left. I needed 2 more laps. I was a little heartbroken. So, thankfully, the guys on Patreon, let me know, hey, remember, you're going to do that recording tonight, right? You're going to remember. And I was like, oh, yeah, I need to do that tonight. So, thanks to those guys, or else I'd miss this video again. Oh. Also, another thing, I'm just kind of, at this point, I'm kind of done with what I was going to talk about. I'm just going to kind of ramble about random things now. You're more than welcome to continue watching. Clearly, I'm going to get the 40, so you can definitely see that if you farm every day, you will complete the event. No problem. With some extras. But yeah, so rambling now. The meat here, the dragons, I forget what it's called. But yeah, the meat chunks, right? They took out slimes. They still have skill slimes, but they took out, all the different element ones. I am so glad for that. I think we get less of the bonuses now. Like the plus 125%, plus 150%. I feel like those happen a lot less often with the meat. But you know what? I like the stagnant amount. I don't have to worry about, hatching 10 slimes out of, the eggs using my amethysts. I don't have to worry about that now, about getting all 2 stars, stupid slimes. Now I just spend a set amount and I get a set amount of these things, and they're all worth a set amount of experience. It's so much nicer, and they're worth so much experience. These things right here, I don't know, I never actually determined the actual ratio, but I feel like they're all on par with like 4-star slimes, so they're pretty good. I can't complain about that. Also, they don't take up inventory space for my dragons, because sometimes I'd go to the store and get like 50 slimes, and then my whole inventory is just full of slimes, and I've got to spend them all before I can do any content. Or I would have like 10 free spaces, and then I would get like a whole bunch of rewards from the game, like doing one of these events, right? And then my inventory's full of these dang slimes because I did something like this where I saved all my stuff up to the end. I'm just glad they did away with that altogether. It's so nice. I think we're really going to kind of make out like a bandit this time. I feel like we've had some really good landings. I haven't been paying hardly any attention. I've been more worried about what I was saying and talking about than worried about what I was landing on. But I did see a lot of the 300s, so that's nice. I said we still got a long way. I've already done the rate up for October, and we're only halfway through. And look at my diamonds. I'm already just back up. I mean, I'm sure I'll go into my mailbox after this and show you like everything that I get. But I guarantee it, I wouldn't guarantee it, but I'm probably gonna be super close to 30,000 after this. Oh, I got my hopes up there for a second. For the these eggs down here, the different elements, I thought I got 5 of each one because of I saw this times 5. I was like, what? They give me 5 of each element? That's awesome. Oh no, 1 of each after doing 5 laps. Okay, that's not nearly as exciting as I was hoping. But these enhancement points, that's where it's at. I need 20 of those bad boys desperately. So yeah, what do you guys want to kind of see? I'm at the end here, so I'm just going to go ahead and ask, what kind of videos do you guys want to see? I'm kind of running out of ideas at the moment. I do need to remake my my beginner's guide video. I meant to do that back in August for the yearly anniversary for the first one, but I've been super busy. Me and my wife are about to have our first baby in 2 months, so we're just getting ready for that, and it's been pretty hectic. We're having a baby shower this weekend. So I'm barely getting this video made in time. So, oh, so much work. All right, so let's go ahead and claim all these guys here. Watch it crash on me right now. At the very end. All right, and then let's look in the inventory. What all did we get here? All right, so claim all. So we got almost 5,000 amethysts. 5,000 diamonds, a decent chunk of gold. I actually expected more gold, to be fair. That's pretty nice. And then items, go ahead and claim all these. Some stuff there. Um, 16 high tier water, that's cool. I spent most of the day farming that. Kind of sucks to get it now. Alright. Yeah, pretty much even there. 16, 17s. Yep. Oh, nice. 30 Dragon Spray. Dragon Spray, that's what it's called. Alright, so that was the total amount that we got here. You know, we completed the whole event, so we got everything. We also got some wings here, but I'm not going to collect all these at once. It looks like a pretty hefty amount, though. Oh, yeah. There's only 1/300 in there that I saw that we actually got off of the event. That's kind of a surprise. I expected more. This is from other stuff, push rewards and check-ins and stuff. This is where the dice event started. So yeah, only 1/300 wing, but we got plenty of others. Clearly, I have extra wings to spare as is, so not a big deal. Guys, I hope you enjoyed my ramblings. You know, just talking about the game, what I think, where we're at, and you know, hopefully where we're going to go in the future. If you have any comments, definitely put them in the comments section below, and I'll reply to them for you guys. Any kind of support you want to give to me if you're still here, I greatly appreciate it. Please like the video. If you're not subscribed already, definitely do that. That's crazy if you're not. But yeah, I'll see you next time.